Hello and welcome. In this module, we will discuss the tools and outputs of the Create Program or Portfolio Components process. The first tool we will discuss is Communication Plans. The communication plans define how information is to be disseminated to business stakeholders and throughout the programs, portfolios, and organization as a whole. It should also define how and when to communicate and what mode of communication should be used. The portfolio roles provide guidance and input to the communications plan for the associated programs within the portfolio. Similarly, the program roles provide guidance and input to the communications plans for the projects within the program. Scrum of Scrums meeting. The purpose of the Scrum of Scrums meeting is similar to its use in large projects. At the program level, representatives from each underlying project in the program meet at regular intervals for Scrum of Scrums meetings. Another tool is Scrum of Scrums meeting. At the program and especially at the portfolio level, it makes sense to have another layer of meetings. Representatives from relevant or interrelated programs and projects in the program or portfolio meet at regular intervals or as required. In attendance would be representatives from each of the Scrum of Scrums meetings. This additional level of meetings is called the Scrum of Scrums. The figure below illustrates the concept of the Scrum of Scrums and the Scrum of Scrums meetings. In this example, there are 6 Scrum projects going on simultaneously. Scrum projects A, B, and C are part of one program, while Scrum projects D, E, and F are part of another program. A Scrum of Scrums meeting is held to coordinate the interdependencies within each of the 2 programs. A Scrum of Scrums meeting may then be conducted to coordinate and manage dependencies across the 2 programs of the portfolio. The next tool is Communication Techniques. At the program or portfolio level, communication methods and techniques must scale to a larger number of participants. This is due to the fact that not everyone will be in the same workplace. Additional considerations should be made for push versus pull communication types. For example, dashboards or reports published online for business stakeholders to view on demand, or pull, or sent directly at regular intervals, or push. Communication across larger groups may utilize more tools, such as web meetings, email, instant messaging, and message boards when face-to-face communication is not possible. Use of a Scrum project tool may also facilitate communication at a program or portfolio level. Another tool is Scrum Project Tool. At the program or portfolio level, the Scrum Project Tool provides the ability to scale in order to manage the additional roles, coordination, reporting, communications, and other relevant requirements. Other key tools of this process, which are discussed in other videos of this course, include Company Human Resource Plans and Stakeholder Analysis. Now that we have discussed the tools, let's take a look at the outputs of this process. The first output is Minimum Done Criteria. The minimum done criteria defined at the portfolio level applies to all underlying programs and projects. Similarly, the minimum done criteria at the program level applies to all underlying projects. The cascading set of done criteria ensures that all underlying done criteria meet the minimum requirements established at the higher levels. The Scrum guidance body may be involved with defining the minimum done criteria at a portfolio level. The next output is Identified Business Stakeholders. Business stakeholders at the portfolio or program level are an input to this process. Additional business stakeholders are identified in this process. Another output is Updated Impediment Logs. Impediments faced by individual projects may be relevant to other projects within the program or portfolio. Therefore, the project-level impediment logs may need to be shared with other projects and/or programs. As a result of the Scrum of Scrums or Scrum of Scrums meetings, there may be a need to update the project-level impediment logs. There could also be impediment logs at program or portfolio levels. The next input is Updated Dependencies. There may be dependencies between interrelated projects and even between programs within the enterprise that need to be identified. Consequently, there should be coordination among the associated projects to manage those dependencies. Examples of dependencies could include shared release dates for interrelated projects, dependencies between releases, and dependencies pertaining to interrelated features. As a result of coordinating program or portfolio components, there may be a need to update the known dependencies with new dependencies or changes to existing dependencies. For example, there may be dependencies between projects within a program or portfolio. Let's look at two projects in a program, A and B. These two projects may need to have the same release date, or perhaps Project A can be released only after the release of Project B. In either case, if Project B is delayed, Project A will also be delayed, even if its deliverables are ready on time. Next, we will discuss recommended Scrum guidance body improvements. As a result of the create and update program or portfolio components process, suggestions or feedback may be provided for potential improvements to the Scrum guidance body documentation. These recommended improvements will be discussed and agreed to or rejected by the Scrum guidance body. If the suggestions are agreed to, they will be incorporated as updates to the Scrum guidance body documentation. Other outputs of this process, which are discussed in other videos of this course, include shared resources, product owner's collaboration plan, and Scrum Master's collaboration plan. With this, we come to the end of this module. Thank you for learning with us.